Excuse me. Hey guys, welcome to Punky's World. I'm a little late on the video today. I just took my antivirals. It's 2 p.m. It's a few minutes after. Today I feel really cruddy. My nose is stuffy, and I'm just really cruddy. I know that's the course of this disease. Some days you feel better than others. I think the hardest part of this illness is that it makes you so weak. You know? And I'm not one of these people that has someone to make my food and stuff. I have to do it. You know? I don't have someone that's going to make my food and leave it outside the bedroom door, you know? I have to make my own food, which is fine. My friend brought me some, she didn't end up going to the 7-Eleven, so she brought me Mott's Tots, which is 40% less sugar, and I absolutely love baby apple juice anyway. So I always have. I always had a bad stomach as a kid, particularly my colon, as I mentioned, the spastic colon. And the baby juices were always gentler on me, and I used to drink them up until I was probably close to 10 years old. And it may sound ridiculous, baby food jar juices, but my parents did what they had to do to keep my stomach settled, keep my colon settled. You know, and if that meant a baby food juice was going to be easier to tolerate because it's less acid, then that's what I drank. As I got older, I started drinking Very Fine, which I love. You don't see it around as much anymore. And they did, the last time I had it, they had changed their bottling to plastic. When I was growing up, Very Fine was in glass. And it was some big kid about having your very own little glass bottle that was just yours. And it was glass, you know. Well, like I said, my nose is kind of stuffed up today, and I'm just yucky, you know, tired. Kept waking up, partly because there was this beeping outside, like it sounded almost like a car horn in the distance periodically, and it was driving me absolutely mad. So I shut the window, but that didn't do a lot of good because I got an air conditioner in the other one. But I will probably open the window again later, depending on the temperature, because it's kind of rainy and yucky today. So it's probably a good thing I don't feel good. I know I have packages, but I also know Bob's a busy man, so I gotta give him a break. I am gonna put something on that table though, because the table's wet, and I don't want my boxes to get soggy. So I'm going to come up with a plan for that. I'm thinking some kind of blanket that I don't use. Well, maybe the blanket that's already dirty. Why don't we do that? Let's do that together. Let me pause you. Okay, guys. I've never been more grateful to have an outside table, I can tell you. Bob wants to put my package. He doesn't have to worry about a wet table. Can you see it? Pretty too, actually. It's a little crooked though. I'm sure you can still see it. There. Okay. My handprints are in the blood. That's hilarious. Turn it this way so I can make it a little more even. There, that's better. What do you guys think? This blanket needs to be washed anyway, so. And it's raining and it's yucky. So there we go. What do you think, guys? And I will let him know that I threw it on the table. And him I will not talk to on speaker because he's half deaf. So you guys won't hear that conversation. But there. That will keep my packages safe. I'm also going to make a video today for Kid Missing, just a short explanation of what in the world is going on. Oh crap, it's Monday, isn't it? I gotta put up a Kid Missing video. Okay, I gotta find out which video it is. Come with me. Come with me. I'm gonna pull this up so I don't make all kinds of noise. Because that really reverberates through the camera. And I noticed that in editing and in watching, so let's go over here. I'm not going to be able to bring you all the way over there because I have a basket of laundry. This laundry here is clean. That laundry there is not. So, okay. Today is 17th. Okay, it's Sarah Kinslow. So, that's what we have to do. By the way, I wanted to point out, when I get better, I'll go over this with you, but pointed out I was able to find the tree, the I Know I family. So I can go over that with you better from that wrestling video. So, yeah, it's Sarah Kinslow. So I have to go do that. I like filming out here, especially on a darker day. This can definitely be brighter out here. Okay, Tina Kemp and Kelly. Kelly Chrome. Kelsey and Kelly Chrome. Okay, so a lot of them are written for me because I feel so crappy that I went and found information on the cases, printed them out, and I'm just going to highlight what I want. For November, nowhere near ready to film it. I just do not have the energy or to go over any of the printouts, but they're here, and not all of them have printouts, but some of them do, so I would say at least half of them. So that's good. Today I'm having the salmon, like I said, that my friend just brought, and I am going to have the leftover sweet potatoes, instant sweet potatoes. They're actually pretty good. They're a little on the sweet side because they do add brown sugar to them. You can tell that when you're mixing the dry goods into the wet, you can see the brown sugar. It's not an uncommon thing. It's just not something I do when I make them myself. And I'm going to have sliced up mushroom because the mushrooms I got are enorme. Let me show you. Let me pull this back up. Okay. I can't believe how big these mushrooms are. I just don't have the energy at this point to make another salad. But these mushrooms are huge. I mean, these are just white button mushrooms. But they're gigantic. So I'm going to have a couple of these as my vegetable. They're good for you. The only thing you need to remember is if you're going to eat them raw. Wow, that got dark. If you're going to eat them raw, take the stems out because you can get fiber balls. But here's the Mott's for tots. Here's the ginger ale that my friend got me a 6-pack of. Actually, I should take one of those. Because ginger is really good for settling the stomach. And my stomach's a little, because I tried to cough up some and I swallowed it. As I was sitting up to spit it out, I swallowed it. I was like, really? I don't need that crapola in my stomach. But anyway, Walmart's delivery system is down. So the order that I placed yesterday for what I called my COVID treats won't be here until tomorrow. Because they're grocery delivery system's evidently down. Because I called them yesterday and said, why is it going to take 3 days to get food? Because I thought it would be faster to pick it up, but you couldn't pick it up either, and that confused me. So I decided to call them, and that's what they told me. The system is down. Well, then why are you letting people order? You can have orders out to Friday, and people are not going to be happy. But anyway, I do want to show you the sweet potatoes. I never knew they made these. I just found them in Walmart one day. And I love it. Because you can't get sweet potatoes year round. Let me show you the package. Oops. Well, this is not sweet potatoes, but it's the same package. They're Betty Crocker. I guess not. Guess I bought one and lunch. I was trying to buy the least salt, least fat potatoes. So I'm going to let Bob know that I have a blanket out there, keep my packages safe, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, for 78, he's a busy dude. So far, I've really had no side effects from the meds except the horrible taste, which to me I equate to, like I said, having like a prednisone constantly dissolving in your mouth, or any other kind of really bitter medication that might dissolve in your mouth. Like I had a losartan dissolve in my mouth a few nights ago. I take that at 9 p.m. because they're worried it might make me a little dizzy, a little tired. Losartan is a blood pressure medication, and it is working wonders. Unfortunately, my blood pressure cuff is across the driveway, and I should be monitoring it while I'm on this antiviral. So I may call my friend and ask him if he could bring it over and put it on the table. Again, I've got another good reason for having the blanket there, so that I can monitor my blood pressure just to make sure it's not up, while I'm taking this medication. So I think I will do that also. So I had a couple things to do today. I should write it all down. I'll never remember. By the way, if you're wondering what this is, that's a quarantine sign. I got that from, well, I made that, but I got the idea from chemo. They gave you a sticker you had to put up. Or actually it was a sign, but it was like a plastic sign that you put up on your door to let people know that if they were sick, if they just had an immunization, anything like that, they couldn't come in your house. Tell that to this specific Jehovah's Witness that came into the house sneezing, coughing, and miserable. I went running. My mother's like, what are you trying to do, kill my kid? So yeah, that was not fun. So I wrote, quarantine, COVID. I did that mostly for Walmart delivery tomorrow, although I did put it in my delivery instructions. I did let them know. Call me, my cell phone number. I'll leave on porch, call me, my cell phone number. I have COVID-19 because I didn't want to be near the delivery person. And they surely don't want to be near me. So and as far as the toothbrushes, the lady said a word I'm not going to repeat on YouTube that starts with an S and goes in the toilet. When I told her they didn't fit, she said, bring them back and I'll give you something for free to replace them, which I thought was very nice of her. She didn't have to do that. I didn't expect her to do that. I just would have brought them back so someone else who had the right toothbrush could get, the dollar price tag on that, because I know what it cost me on Amazon, and it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't $1. So, but I wanted to take a few minutes before I plop back in my bed. I'm watching I Am Big Bird, about the 80-year-old man who's still playing Big Bird. And he does Oscar the Grouch as well. So Um, so I'm quite happy. I just watched You Love Me, I Hate You about Barney. I think I mentioned that at the beginning of the video. I'm not sure. Um, it was kind of sad in a way, you know. My personal opinion on all of that stems back to my own childhood. Because I remember my mother telling me when I was old enough to understand, when I was out of the Sesame Street Mr. Rogers phase, electric company phase, um, and getting into more of the 3-2-1 contact phase, which she liked too. So we watched that as a family. We loved it. The Bloodhound Gang. Anybody remember that? I'll try to find a link to that. 3-2-1 contact with the Bloodhound Gang. That is so cool. Other than like Encyclopedia Brown, probably one of my first introductions to a kid detective type thing, But they were probably, 12. Some of them were probably a little older than that. So they were probably my age and a little bit older at the time, At any rate, I can equate the whole hating Barney thing to my childhood, and I'll tell you why. Because parents, as a whole, do go crazy. Well, back then, you have to remember, when I'm talking about watching Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers, you're talking about the 70s and the early 80s here. We had, what did we have? We literally had PBS, the 3 major networks, the 3 major network affiliates, a major network affiliate out of Rhode Island, or 2 major network affiliates out of Rhode Island, actually. Then you turned the top dial to the letter U, which for those of you not old enough, that stood for UHF. Then, by turning the top dial to the letter U, it gave you access to the bottom dial, which in our case meant channel 25, channel 38, channel 56, and channel 27, right? 25, 56, 27, and 38. Yay! Well, 25 became Fox at some point. They were a local channel, and they were bought out by Fox. 56, I think it was a local channel too. 27 was even more local. I believe that was a Worcester channel to start out with. Most of the other ones were Boston, but I believe 27 was a Worcester channel. It became a Spanish channel, and then it got bought out again, I guess, at some point. And 38 was WSB was WSBK. It was it became a superstation, akin to TBS. As cable grew, they started putting it on cable all over the place because it was the place for Boston sports. So it became a superstation. If you wanted to watch the Red Sox, if you wanted to watch the Bruins in particular, anything like that, that was where you needed to be. WSBK, TV 38. But yeah, those were the channels we had. So we were very limited back then. I would have thought Barney would have driven parents a little less crazy because they could send their kids in the room with it. You know what I mean? And they could watch something they wanted to watch instead of this mindless, I love you, over and over again. So I would think it would have driven them a little less nuts than my mother watching the same episode of Sesame Street 3 times a day, because she didn't have much of a choice. There was one TV with like 4 channels. So that's what I equate it to, is parents were going nuts for the same reason that Sesame Street drove my mother nuts. And she had nothing against Sesame Street. So I think that's what it was. And I think that because it was a different generation, and sadly my generation of parents, didn't react to it so well. If I'd have had a kid that wanted to watch Barney, I would have put the VCR tape in a TV VCR combo thing in their bedroom. Because that's what my kid would have had. It would have had the combo TV like we had in the bathroom for the cat. That is not a joke. The cat had his TV in the bathroom and got mad when it broke. So my father went and bought him a new one because he liked to watch the People's Court. I actually sent a message on Facebook to the People's Court's Facebook. Judge Millian wrote back to me. She thought that was the greatest thing. That message is still there somewheres, but I would have to go back in the archive of my messages to find it. I should have printed it. But anyway. So yeah. He would just lay there and watch. Her voice just soothed him for some reason. Commercial would come on, he'd pick up his head. He didn't meow very loud. He took him, as my father said, a long time to learn to meow at all. But I guess Maine Coons don't meow loud anyway. They're very soft spoken, so to speak. And but it took him a long time to find a voice anyway, because he would open his mouth to meow and nothing would come out, literally. And because he was so soft spoken, you would. Here's a funny one for you. My mother and I are in the kitchen, and then I had come in to the living room and asked us something. And then we were in the kitchen. I don't know if we were prepping a meal or something. And we see Nanite go into Daddy's bedroom. And he's sitting on the floor in front of Puff. And you can hear their little squeaks at each other. Like a kitty cat conversation. And Nanite comes out and starts meowing at us. Because they don't meow at each other. That's saved for humans. Or Mom. That's what that's for. That's not something they do with each other. They're just making these little squeaks and, sounds. And then they came out and started screaming at us. And my mother turned around and she said, Puff, if you want something, you ask for it. Don't send your brother. Because that's literally what he did. We've caught him doing that a couple of times. So I just wanted to share that because I thought it was funny. Like, hose. I feel so crappy. But I thought that was so funny. Because he didn't have a whole lot of voice of his own, he would send the Burmese, who had a voice like a Siamese, if you've ever had a Siamese in your life. Them things could break the sound barrier. And believe me, that Burmese could too. And Puff darn well knew it. So he would send him. But yeah, it's kind of weird, it's, they were 20 years old, 19 and 20 years old when they passed. That's tough. I hate to go on Facebook and read that someone that I care about, or anyone really, lost their animal. It just sucks. Because I know how much that hurts, But yeah, so I can understand parents in the 70s and early 80s going crazy over Sesame Street, the same episode 3 times a flippin' day. But Barney, like I said, get your kid a TV VCR combo unit. They're only yay big. Stick it on their bureau, stick the tape in, bye-bye. Or hook it up to your basic cable, put the the PBS station on and have at it. What is the big deal? I think for grown-ups in my generation, maybe it was the repetitive nature of it. I don't know. I was absolutely embarrassed watching this, being Generation X, and watching what my generation was doing, how they were treating a cartoon character, well, a puppet, a guy in a suit. It's just, it's embarrassing as a member of that generation. Some of them were a little younger than me in that they were high school and college age. I was a little bit older than that when Barney came out. Let's see. When Barney came out, like, nationwide, I was fully grown. But when Barney started coming out, I guess, in videos, more locally in Texas and stuff, in 91, I was in high school. Graduated in 93. I can't believe it's going to be 30 years coming up in just a few months. Oh my God. Anyway, but yeah. So, oh, and guys, I have been watching the 8-bit guy, David Murray, restore these computers. One of the computers that he's restoring, well, that he restored, I'm still getting ready to watch second half, was the first computer that my family ever had. It was they call it a portable compact. It ain't portable. It's about yay big by yay big, and the keyboard, they call it portable because the keyboard, you pick it up and you put it onto the face and you clip the little clips down, and the keyboard folds right up into it. It was the very first computer that my family ever had. In my senior year, I did my senior government project. The research on that computer and that project, we had to pick a law or Supreme Court decision or something to write a report on. And that was our final exam, our senior project. So I chose Roe versus Wade. And my friend chose women's suffrage. And I actually helped him with some research because I had a computer before he did. How in the world we stayed on the phone while that computer was still connected to the internet through the phone line, I still don't have a friggin' clue how that worked. How he was able to call me while that was online and not knock it offline, which is what should have happened, I don't know. It's still perplexing to me that I was sitting there on Prodigy helping him do research, plus doing my own research. That was the only time I was able to research any project or report for school on a computer. Everything else was done through the library, through books, encyclopedias, you know, the way that you did it back in the Stone Age. But seriously, that's what you did. Oh, I wanted to show you my shirt, by the way. This is my Halloween shirt. That is so funny. Anyway, this has been an interesting vlog. I'm gonna go edit. I don't usually edit a whole lot. I know how to clip out parts and stuff if I need to, and there are a couple of times I should have. By the way, one of the vlogs yesterday ended very abruptly, and I know I had that other piece in there because I looked at it. I made sure that other piece was in there. So I don't know, but I've been sick, and I apologize for. I'm gonna put this in the microwave and chop up my mushrooms. Now when you clean mushrooms, I just rinse them, wipe them with a paper towel, we're good to go. Slice them right on the plate. Like I said, just pop off the stem because you don't want to be eating a bunch of stems raw because you can get fiber balls. That's not nice. Kind of like a kitty cat getting a hairball. We'll avoid that. I am going to go and make a video for Kid Missing. Hopefully I won't screw up the intros this time. So that I can update everyone over there what's going on with me, and also sort of give them a preview of November. I don't have a theme for November. I'm trying to think of one for December. Certain months I want to do a theme for, but not every month, you know? So that's where I stand. I'm sick today. My nose is stuffed up. It's not as stuffed up as it was Friday night, but it's still stuffed up. It wasn't stuffed yesterday. I need to use the vapor inhalers. I was shocked. I was getting ready for bed last night. I put my hair up and sat in a tub, and I could actually smell a little bit. My smeller is not back 100%, that's for sure, but I can actually smell. Oh, another thing my friend brought me. So that's good. Another one I actually don't like is Earl Grey. Oh, and her gift is coming tomorrow if Bob brings my packages. And I'll show it to you because she has terrible internet where she lives, and she said she couldn't get on my channels anyway. She really watch too much YouTube because she has terrible internet. So English breakfast. Lady Grey. I'm gonna try this. It's not Earl Grey, and it sounds really good actually. It says citrus. It's a citrus flavored tea. Black tea, orange peel, lemon peel, natural citrus flavors with other natural flavors. Let me see if I can smell it. Oh. Oh yeah. Yep. That actually is making my tea today. I'm gonna exchange my cup. One thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep my dishes done for one thing, but that's a tough matter for me because when I finally get that little burst of energy at night from the prednisone, it's kind of too late for me to do dishes. I am going to make this even though I took the soda because it takes me a while before I drink it, so I like it to get cool. I use honey. I switched from sugar to honey because it's better for me. Way better for me. So, and being someone that's at high risk for diabetes due to a very, very strong family history. Although I will tell you, tomorrow we will do a Walmart order haul, and you will see that we can get some sugar and stuff. But you know what? I wanted treats because I'm stuck in the house, can't do anything, and there. That's not it. Okay. Yesterday when I took this down, whacked my hand on here. That hurt. But yeah, so that's what I want to do. I actually like the way the Twinings box is built better than I like the Bigelow box, honestly. If you look at the two, I mean, the Twinings box actually closes. Bigelow box doesn't really. So I kind of prefer that box myself. But just the box. I mean, I like both teas equally. Oh God, that taste in my mouth is disgusting. But I am gonna go off here. Like I said, after I eat, I'm gonna make the video for Kid Missing. Then I will go put both videos up. So watch for that a little later on. Because I have to eat and I have to try to keep my nose blown. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll put those up while I'm watching I Am Big Bird. I am curled up with my peacock, and I'm so grateful be able to do that. So yeah, COVID's not fun. And like I said, it doesn't seem like YouTube is bothered by the word. I think some YouTubers worry so much about their monetization that they're afraid to say things. I don't have monetization to worry about. And even if I did, I wouldn't care. You know, I'm not using ugly four-letter words. You know, I'm not using hate speech or anything like that. So I don't see a problem. I'm just documenting my own illness. And that's protected speech. Thank you so much for joining me. Please have a wonderful rest of your wet, soggy day if you're anywhere near me. God bless you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.